back. I should probably introduce it first. Okay. Good morning, UU Miami. Our opening soul singing hymn for this morning will be number 389 in the gray hymnal, Gathered Here. We will sing it once through with me. Then on verse 2, I will start leading off the male voices, and someone else, possibly Jessica, can lead off the female voices, a measure behind me. Okay, Joseph, let's do this. Gathered here in the striking of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. One more time? Okay. Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome to our multi-platform space here at the Unitarian Universalist congregation. As a member of the Unitarian Universalist Association, we bring a liberal religious voice to the great city of Miami, a city we acknowledge that sits on the traditional land of the Tequesta, the Seminole, and the Mississippi people. My name is Bridget, and I'm wearing a blue denim jumpsuit.
My name is Lillian, and I'm wearing a light blue tank top with a flower.
We are joined on the chancel by Joseph Taletta, our pianist. You say. Jessica.
I can't reach it. Can you put it down? Okay.
Gosh.
This? Our worship associate and Jessica, our RE director of children and youth. Oh, jeez.
Currently, our Sunday services are guided by the worship committee, whose purpose is to support and strengthen our shared ministry, while many services will be led by leaders in the Unitarian Universalist faith. We are also committed to nurturing and uplifting the spiritual leadership of individuals in our congregation. Now, more than ever, it is essential for us to come together in community. If you are new and you would like to learn more about UU Miami and sharing in this community, please find our contact information on the screen. Social media is at UUC Miami or email communications at uumiami.org or speak to someone with the yellow-orange lanyard after the service.
Our tradition is to light a chalice at the beginning of our services. Today we gather in the spirit of love, justice, and truth. We light this chalice to honor the light within each of us, the light that shines when we live as our authentic selves, and the light that calls us to see, affirm, and uplift one another in our full humanity.
I love these kids. All right. May this flame guide us toward a world of greater understanding and compassion to celebrate every person's beautiful and unique. Join me in our unison affirmation, first in English and then in Spanish. Please rise together in body and spirit. The words will be projected on the screen. Love is the spirit of this faith, and service is its prayer. In love we agree to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu de nuestra fe y el servicio es su oración. En amor acordamos vivir unidos en paz, buscar el conocimiento en libertad y ayudarnos al uno al otro. What a beautiful song. A song written by Teddy Geiger, for those of you who may not know, is a transgender woman. That song was very popular in the 1990s and early 2000s. It's called Show a Little Confidence. For you, I will. Today is our Transgender Day of Visibility, and we're going to kick it off with a story for all ages. You know, stories have the power to open hearts, spark understanding, and reflect the beautiful diversity of the world around us. The Adventures of Tina and Jordan. It's a book I wrote. It was born from the love and wisdom of the many gender diverse children I've had the privilege to know. And yes, it's a privilege to know them. The courage, joy, have been a constant source of inspiration. And I wanted to create a story that honors their experiences and helps them feel celebrated and know that they're never alone. For years, my dear friend, Dr. Marilyn Volker, encouraged me to bring this story to life. It wasn't until I thought about sharing it with my nieces and nephews and my granddaughter that I knew it was time for me to have something like this out in the world. The world needed this book because every child deserves to see themselves in the stories we tell. The artwork in this book was inspired by my son, Christopher, whose creative vision helped to bring the characters to life. With this original artwork displayed right there on the screen, right here on the cover. Jazz Jennings also played a key role in shaping the visual world of this story. We spent afternoons together in her home with her family, brainstorming and developing ideas, working to create the vibrant and engaging scenes that would eventually be included in this book. This process helped inspire her to write her own book on her experience. Books that are now banned from schools and libraries. You see, this book is more than a story. It's a celebration of being yourself, a celebration of friendship, and of the adventures that await when we embrace who we truly are. My hope is that it brings joy, understanding, and a sense of belonging to all who read it. So welcome to the adventures of Tina and Jordan. May their journey inspire you as much as it inspired me, and I'll have the kids come join me up here and help me read the story.
There was once a little girl named Tina. But Tina was not like all the other girls. She felt different.
Tina was loved by her mom and dad, but she was not happy. She did not like the clothes that her mommy would dress her in. She did not like being told to act like a girl.
Tina enjoyed climbing trees. She also liked playing with toy cars. And sometimes she liked to pretend she was a boy. But her family taught her that she was supposed to do girl things, like play with dolls and wear pretty dresses.
One time, she helped her daddy fix the car. She liked getting dirty and getting grease under her fingernails. Her favorite part was fixing things with her daddy's tools.
One day, Tina was looking through her daddy's closet and found a black cowboy hat. There was something about that cowboy hat that Tina liked very much. So she put it on when no one was looking.
She could not understand why, but wearing the cowboy hat made her feel strong. She looked at herself in the mirror and liked what she saw, but something still did not feel right. Tina thought to herself, maybe if I hide my hair under my hat, I will look better. And so she did. And after she did, Tina felt very good. She felt good because she looked like a boy.
Tina was so excited that she decided to go outside and play. She was very careful leaving the house because she did not want her mom and dad to see her looking this way. Feeling courageous, she decided to go play in the playground.
At the playground, there were many kids, but Tina was very nervous and did not want any of the other kids knowing she was a girl. Then she noticed a pretty little boy wearing a towel on his head and playing with a doll.
The other boys in the playground were calling him names like sissy and girly boy. So Tina decided to come to his rescue. When the boys saw her coming, one of them asked, "Who is that boy with the cowboy hat?" And with a smile and acting very tough, she told the other boys, "I'm the new sheriff in the playground. You can't treat people like that."
Even though Tina was very scared of the boys finding out she was really a girl, she shoved one of the boys and said, "Skedaddle from these here parts and leave us alone." The other boys were startled and said, "Aw, who cares about you two? Go on and play by yourselves." Then, after that, they left.
The young boy with the towel on his head said, "Hi, my name is Jordan, and you are my hero." "Thank you, Sheriff. What is your name?" Tina was not sure what to say to him because surely he thought she was a boy. However, she felt safe with Jordan, so she told him the truth. "My name is Sheriff Tina, and I sometimes like to pretend I'm a boy. So you can just call me Sheriff. It's a pleasure to meet you, Jordan."
Jordan did not act surprised and said to her, "That's okay, Sheriff. Sometimes I like to pretend I'm a girl, and that's why I like to wear a towel on my head. Don't you think it makes me look like I have long hair? My mommy says that I am different, and that is okay to be different because we're all special in our own ways." Tina agreed and told Jordan she liked him just the way he was also. She asked him if they could be friends and have adventures together. Jordan liked the idea very much. Then he took Tina to meet his mommy.
Tina and Jordan's mommy talked for a few minutes. When they finished, Jordan and Tina went back to the playground to pretend they were in the Old West. Tina was the sheriff, of course, and Jordan played the town's innkeeper.
Soon, Tina's mom came to look for her and saw her playing in the playground. She got very upset and called out for Tina. Tina became very nervous and was afraid that her mommy would be angry at her for leaving the house in secret and wearing her daddy's cowboy hat. She could hear her mommy's voice in her head telling her that's not how girls should dress or play with boys.
Before Tina's mommy could come to her, she noticed Jordan's mom walk over to talk to her mom. Tina's mom did not look happy. Neither Jordan nor Tina could tell what they were talking about, but Jordan's mom seemed very calm. While they were talking, Tina's mom started to cry and gave Jordan's mom her a hug. Oh my gosh. When they finished talking, they smiled at each other and hugged again. Tina's mom did not look so angry anymore.
Tina's mom came over to take her back home. She told Tina that she and Jordan can play again some other day. Then she said that they would need to talk when they got home, and that made Tina nervous.
At home, Tina and her mom talked. Tina's mom asked her why she liked her daddy's cowboy hat. Tina was afraid that her mom would get very upset, but she told her the truth. She thought to herself, a sheriff needs to be honest and tough, and if Jordan felt comfortable being himself, even though other kids made fun of him, I should also. Her mom told her that she would not be upset at her for being different. She said that Jordan's mom helped her understand how important that is. However, she was still upset that she left the house without telling her where she was going. Tina understood and said that she would not do it again.
Tina and her mom hugged, and then her mom said something very amazing to her. She said, "I will love you just the way you are, no matter what."
There would be other days that Tina's mommy and daddy would talk to her about how she was feeling. And there was also sometimes that she would talk with Jordan's mom and other grown-ups. But for now, she was happy to make a new friend with Jordan, and they would have many adventures together, being as different as they wanted to be for many days to come. The end for now.
Oh, that is a powerful story, and it makes me tear up every time I read it, because it's just so true to the lives of many transgender youth, gender diverse youth. And when I wrote this book, it was important to me that we had some question and answers in the back. So, I had put together a little message to parents. Thank you, parents, for reading this book and valuing your child. I figured whoever was going to buy this book probably had a child that was feeling this way. Each child is unique and special in their gender identity and expression. I hope this book will help you understand that what is actually normal is the fact that we're each different. So it's okay not to be the same. And I enclosed some discussion questions for you, the parent, and then for you and your child, or your niece, or your nephew, your grandchild, your godchild, your students, so that you could discuss. So there's my message on the book, and I invite you to question these things for yourself. What expectations would you have for your children? What expectations do you have for your child regarding gender? What kind of messages are you giving? What has your child taught you about their experiences? Because kids teach us every day, right? How does your child feel about his or her body? About his or her name? How do they feel about toys, gender expectations? If your child was different in any way, would you want your child to come to you and tell you his or her truth? Think about that for a moment. If you don't choose to acknowledge it or discuss it, where do you think they're going to go? Would your child want to lie? Is that what we want our children to do, is to lie to us? How do you cope, whether it's positive or negative, if your child is different? How do your child cope if he or she were different? And it doesn't have to be about gender. What if they didn't have an arm? What if they had a cleft lip? What if they had vitiligo on their skin and didn't look like all the other brown kids? How can you as a parent help to make it safe for your child and your children? How can you as a parent help to accept and value all your children? If your child was different regarding gender, do you have the resources to help them? So I encourage parents to help them find the resources. Today I'm wearing transgender colors, and I'm wearing a shirt that says "Choose Life." Sounds like a pro-life message, doesn't it? But today, I want you to think about choosing life. If you are a gender diverse individual who's feeling a little hopeless right now and needs a role model, I'm asking you not to think about ending it because nobody's going to accept you, but to choose life because you can be a change in the world just by being you. Let's make an offering at this point to UU Miami to help us grow more generous in spirit and action. So please donate by scanning the QR code on the screen, or if you're in the sanctuary, you can place your offering in the basket that our ushers will be passing around. From January to March, UU Miami will split the plate with the Women's Emergency Network, aka WEN, W-E-N, an organization that helps Floridians access abortion. WEN is more important than ever considering the that failed Florida 2024 amendment to limit government interference with abortion. Our current Florida state government blocks abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy. Support when to support choice. Let this congregation's gifts be most gratefully received, and let us be brave. Let us be brave. That is what Transgender Day of Visibility is all about. Let's right now gain a deeper understanding of ourselves. Let us take a deep breath in and out. Let's just settle into this moment now, into the sacredness of being together. Spirit of love, Spirit of truth, be with us now as we open our hearts to the fullness of this day. We gather in the warmth of this community here, a place where all are seen, where all are cherished, where every soul is recognized as sacred, as whole and worthy. Today, we hold space for the beauty and resilience of our transgender and non-binary people. For those who identify as gender diverse, for those who walk boldly in their truth, for those who are still discovering their path, for those who live in the light of visibility, and for those who, for safety or for peace, continue to remain unseen. May we be mindful of the journey, the struggles and the triumphs, the joys and the fears. May we honor the courage that it takes to live authentically, to defy expectations, to claim one's truth, to stand in the fullness of one's identity and say, I am. Let us hold in our hearts those who have been lost to violence and hate, those whose stories were cut short before the world could fully see them. May their names be spoken, their spirits remembered, and their light never extinguished. And let us turn our heart towards hope. Hope for a world where visibility doesn't mean that you're vulnerable, where truth does not invite harm, where every person is free to simply be. May we be the ones who build that world. May we be the ones who listen, who uplift, who protect, and who love. may we be the ones who bear witness, so that no one must walk alone in those shadows. As we breathe in, let us take in the promise of this moment. As we breathe out, let us send forth love and justice into the world. May all who long to be seen and find recognition, may all who long to be loved find embrace, and may all who long to be free find liberation. And may we, together, as a Unitarian Universalist congregation, together, let us be part of that transformation. Blessed be, and let it be so. Let us take now a moment of silence. Thank you. At this time, I'm going to invite Bridget to join us up here on the chancel behind the pulpit and sing us a song by Miss Katy Perry about the spirits that make us roar with confidence.
Breathe lightly. I guess that I forgot I had a choice. Electrical speed past my breaking point. I stood for nothing, so I fell for everything. You held me down, but I got up. Already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound. Like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, and I got up. Already cause I've had enough. See it all, see it now. I got the eye of the tiger, a fighter, dancing through the fire. Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion. Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar.
Thank you, Bridget. That was great. Even with some audio technical difficulties, she did amazing, right? Thank you. Yes. You are going to hear me roar today because today we are celebrating courage and truth. You know why? Because today is the Transgender Day of Visibility. It's a celebration of the resilience, the courage, and contributions of the transgender and gender diverse people whose stories have too often been erased from history. Today is a day of recognition, a day of celebration, a day of courage. Today we honor the lives, the history, and the impact of transgender and gender expansive people. Those who have walked this earth for as long as humanity has recorded in history. Though too often their stories have been erased, ignored, or misrepresented, and even burned in fires. Today is the Veterans Day of sorts for the gender diverse community. Their presence is undeniable, and their existence, well, it's also sacred. Throughout history, gender diversity has been woven into the fabric of human civilization. From rulers to spiritual leaders, from artists to activists, from healers to warriors, transgender and gender expansive individuals have always been here since the beginning of recorded time. There's been evidence of these people. We have been here all this time. Consider Elagabalus, a Roman emperor who defied the gender norms, offering half of his Roman Empire to the surgeon who could give him female parts. A Roman emperor. Can you imagine that? Or the mythical Cupid, a deity of love and desire whose very existence embodies the fluidity of gender. The offspring of Hermes and Aphrodite, yes, a hermaphrodite, which today we call intersex, yes, a gender-diverse deity, celebrated on the Hallmark holiday of Valentine's Day. Thank you, Hallmark, for that day. We get a transgender character to celebrate that day. These stories remind us that gender expansiveness is neither new nor it's unnatural. It's a part of the grand human story. Indigenous cultures have long honored gender-diverse individuals as wise and sacred, like this person up on the screen there, Weiwa, a Zuni two-spirit leader who held a place of great respect in their community, serving as a cultural ambassador and a spiritual guide. Yes, she spent some time in Washington. The Hijra in India, as you see up on the screen, and the Fa'afafine in Samoa, and the Mahu in Hawaii, all represent societies that see gender diversity as a source of wisdom and of strength, instead of something to be feared or erased. Imagine that. What would our world look like if we too could embrace such wisdom? In more modern times, transgender pioneers have reshaped history, often in quiet yet revolutionary ways. Consider Dora Richter and Lily Elby, who we see up on that screen there. Lily Elby, whose story inspired the Academy Award-winning movie, The Danish Girl. That's right. If you want to win an Academy Award, portray a transgender person in the movies. We always win, whether you're cisgender or trans. So these unsung heroes to the gender-diverse communities were among the first known individuals to undergo gender-affirming surgeries. Could you imagine? Right? Elagabalus was looking for a surgeon. She found one, the 20th century, early 20th century. And then think about Alan Hart, trans man, who transformed medicine with his advancements in radiology. There he is. Thank you, Alan, for our X-ray machines that look inside our bodies. That's kind of poetic, right? And for your invaluable research on tuberculosis. This man really, he, in a speech to his graduating students, he informed us that each of us must take into account the raw material which heredity dealt us at birth and the opportunities we have had along the way. And then work out for ourselves a sensible evaluations of our personalities and our accomplishments. That's right. Thank you, Alan Hart. Great words. And let's think about this courageous and yet unassuming hero in Christine Jorgensen. who boldly stepped into the public eye, shifting global conversations about gender identity. Many of us don't realize how small our world got the moment we created movies that ended up all over the world, and we got to see other cultures and people and beliefs. Well, Christine Jorgensen was a model for transsexuals in the 20th century, giving hope to those who felt trapped and buried by a world that would not support them. She was a tireless lecturer on the subject of transsexuality, because that's what we called it back then. Pleading for understanding from a public that all too often wanted to see transsexuals as freaks and perverts. But you see, her poise, her charm, her wit won the hearts of millions and millions. And her courage helped to pave the way for generations to come. She was essentially in the 20th century kind of like what Caitlyn Jenner is to the 21st. Hate her or love her, she made herself visible to the world very publicly. And then there are the activists who demanded justice. Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera. There they are. Who in the 1960s and 70s stood at the front lines of the Stonewall riots and ignited a movement. Yes, that modern LGBTQ plus IA and the rest of the alphabet there movement, that gay liberation movement is what we used to call it. Well, it was all started by that pair of drag queens right there. Let's also honor Renee Richards. Look at her there. A champion on the tennis court, a champion in life, a doctor who fought for her right to compete in professional sports. You thought that was brand new, that we were fighting for our rights to play professional sports or any sports whatsoever in our gendered identity? No, she was also the author of the book Second Serve. And this book is special to me because it was one that I was personally inspired by. It was one of 3 books in the entire public library here in Miami-Dade County in the 1980s that revealed to me that I wasn't alone. Her book was that ray of hope, not just for me, but for many. And another one of my heroes is Caroline Cossey, or we might know her as Tula. There she is, James Bond girl was a boy. Oof. Yes. She turned the pain of being outed in the 1980s on a tabloid magazine into a message of empowerment. Where do you think she did that? In the pages of the New York Times. No, Playboy. It was Playboy. She was in Playboy. It was amazing. Appearing in the movie For Your Eyes Only, because, that's if you got a Playboy, it's for your eyes only. With the famous spy James Bond, she ended up being visible for all our eyes and became a role model to many trans-identified people of my generation. She showed us that you can be beautiful and you can be transgender also. Her courage and tenacity, yes, it was inspiring. Miss Caroline Cossey. Well, in modern day, here in the 21st century, our gender diverse heroes are out and proud, standing on the shoulders of all those people that I mentioned and many, many, many more. I don't have enough time to go over many more, but there's so many more in our history. Here's our new generation of gender diverse people right there on the screen. Role models like Chaz Bono, right? The child of Sonny and Bono. Dominique Jackson, Caitlyn Jenner, formerly Bruce Jenner. Jazz Jennings, Janet Mock, Laverne Cox, Nicole Main. People who have used their visibility to bring light and understanding to the world. And beyond these well-known figures are the everyday transgender and gender diverse people. These are our friends, our neighbors, our teachers, our co-workers, our artists, our healers, and even our leaders who live their truth, and many, many, many times with quiet bravery. Their names may not be written in history books, but their impact is profound. They are shaping our world with love, integrity, and resilience. Throughout history, visibility has been a transformative force, an act of love. When we see someone, truly see someone, when we see them, we affirm their existence. When we use their proper pronouns, the ones they announce to you, you affirm their worth, their dignity, their right to be who they are authentically. The simple act of acknowledgement can be revolutionary. Think about it. How revolutionary just by using a simple pronoun in a world that often seeks to erase or deny, especially in today's day and world in politics, to deny the existence of transgender and non-binary people and anyone who might identify as gender diverse. In our Unitarian Universalist tradition, we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Anybody heard that before? Yeah, I'm sure you have. But belief alone is not enough, though. We must actively practice the work of seeing, affirming, and advocating for one another. And as I stand here today, let me share with you a personal reflection, my journey of visibility. And as a transgender person, I know firsthand the power of being seen. Yeah, I could have gone stealth. I could have just sort of slipped into society and not told anybody I was transgender. I decided to make a difference to others by just being me. Let's see a little video here.
You know, when I think about Jessica, and the impact she's had on my life, I'm incredibly grateful to her. The knowledge that she has imparted on me has been amazing.
For me, Jessica was the first trans person I ever met, and I think that was the same for a lot of people here in this community.
She opened up my eyes and my heart and my mind into a world that I knew nothing about. She's incredibly warm. She's incredibly inviting. She's really the kind of person who is an open book.
You know, let's remember, she transitioned during the early 90s, and look where we were as an LGBT community in the early 90s.
The world was a different place. She was one of the first openly trans people that did regular TV. She was on the Larry King show long before people that were trans were on these types of shows.
She can kind of do it all. I think her impact is global, it's national, it's local, and thank God it's in Florida because we need it.
We all look up to Jessica at the Chamber as a leader. Certainly in the community, everyone looks up to her in terms of her skills and her ability to accomplish great things. And I also think she's the type of person that if you tell her you can't do that, she's going to prove you wrong.
Jessica is truly a force for good. What she brings is information and knowledge so that people can hear her truth and the truth and then make their own decisions.
Because when you meet somebody like Jessica, who's so warm, who's so human, who's so wonderful, all you can take away is the goodness of what she has to share about how she and her experience of who she is just like you.
Everyone believes her to be a very compassionate person. She wants to help, and she wants to listen to hear what you have to say, and how she can help you achieve your goals.
That type of commitment is incredible. And it's important for us to know when people are doing that so that we can celebrate them like we are doing now.
It's my pleasure to introduce somebody who's really special to me, to the community, and to SAFE. Please welcome our champion of equality, Jessica Lamb.
Thank you so very much for honoring me with this wonderful award, a champion of equality. Sometimes I don't consider myself a champion, but apparently I must be, just for being me. So that's pretty amazing, and I'm really, truly honored to receive such a distinguished award like this one. So I do want to thank, first and foremost, my family, because they raised me to be who I am today. They may not have raised me to be transgender, but they raised me to be a good person and to be a force of change in this world. So I thank them, and I thank my children and my grandchild who inspires me every day. My mentors, Dr. Marilyn Volker, who back in the 1990s gave me a platform to come and speak my story in schools, and to college students and to other professionals in their fields. And it was through those avenues that I found myself in wonderful spaces to be able to share a story of hope, a story of just being your authentic self and being real and coexisting in a world that sometimes may not be okay with who you are. When I was younger, I didn't have much representation of what a trans person would look like. Today, I look around and I see so many role models and people who walk the same life that I do. And I think that just by knowing there are others like you, that little ray of hope can help us wake up tomorrow with a little faith that things can get better. So be you, be amazing, and be all that you can possibly be. So thank you. Thank you. I was really humbled to receive an award like that. And like I said in that video in my acceptance speech, I hadn't always considered myself a champion of equality like that. I was just being me. I was just trying to make a difference with one-on-one. I'm grateful for platforms like this one here. I'm grateful to this congregation for allowing people like myself, people like Derek, who goes by they, them pronouns, to be a part of this and to feel like a productive member of this congregation. It's truly inspiring. Yes, thank you. That video played at last year's Champions of Equality Awards ceremony. Bridget, my granddaughter, very proud of that accomplishment because she was there. She did a women's history project this month for her class, and she had to feature a woman that she was inspired, and she chose me, a transgender woman, to be a part of that project. But, not to put some shade over this, she's not allowed to talk about transgender or gay in school. So she had to be careful how she would write it there. So, we're living in a world where they are trying to not let us be seen. There were times when visibility felt like both a risk and a necessity. When stepping into my truth meant confronting fear and uncertainty. I also know that the joy of being recognized and embraced as my true self. I remember the first time someone used my correct name. Or that first time a gentleman opened up a door for me because, this is what you do for women. I remember the first time someone used my correct name and pronouns without hesitation. I remember when my mom said it. It was in a restaurant. You can get her order now. Something like that. I remember the warmth of a community that saw me not as an idea or a debate, but as a person worthy of love, of recognition. My journey has shown me that visibility is not just about being seen. It's about being understood. It's about being respected and valued. This is what everybody wants, right? I think so. Visibility is an act of courage. For many transgender and gender diverse and non-binary people, choosing to live openly is not always easy. It can come with risk, with fear, and with the weight of societal misunderstanding. Yet, time and again, we see examples of extraordinary resilience like those people in history that I showed you earlier. We witness individuals who embrace their truth despite the obstacles, who shine their light even when the world tries to dim it. Their bravery should be a lesson for us all. This is why many cultures in the past admired and revered these gender diverse people, people who lived authentically. It's a sacred act, one that inspires others to do the same. And as a congregation, we're called not just to witness, but to act How can we show up for the transgender and non-binary people in a meaningful way? How can we educate ourselves and others, learning about the experiences and challenges faced by the transgender community? We can create spaces of radical welcome where everyone is affirmed in their full identity, not just here in our congregation, but in our workspaces too, and in our private lives. We can advocate for policies. Yes, you can advocate for policies and protest to help protect the rights and dignity of transgender individuals. Does that sound familiar, the rights and dignity of every human? Yeah. And we can engage in the sacred practice of listening, truly hearing the voices of those who have been silenced or ignored, as we did so when we honored those lives that were snuffed out on our Transgender Day of Remembrance. At its core, Transgender Day of Visibility is about love, a call to love boldly. Love that sees, love that affirms, love that refuses to look away, love that compels us to action. And as we gathered here in this space today, may we carry this love with us. May we be the bearers of justice, kindness, and unwavering support. And may we always remember that the work of visibility is not just for this one day every year. It's a lifelong commitment to creating a world where all people can be seen, where all people can be celebrated, and most of all, where all people can be free. So happy Trans Day of Visibility. Amen.
Thanks to all, very many people who make this Sunday service happen and keep our UU Miami community running, from the dedicated staff to our steadfast volunteers. We thank you, we appreciate you, and we see and feel your devotion.
This morning, we offer special thanks to Joseph for accompanying our hymns and providing beautiful music, Derek for running our AV and live streams, and thank you very much to Jessica Lamb, our RE Director of Youth, and all the youth from our Religion Exploration Program for leading us in worship.
And thanks to all of you who and online for joining us this morning.
And thank you to our youth who came up here to help with the service today.
Hey.
All right, I'll take it from here.
Aww.
I'll take it from here. Thanks. I love it. These kids are amazing. All right, so let's have a couple of announcements and gratitudes. Next week's service is our Sunday Connect, the practice of inclusion. So we explore the practice of inclusion by answering philosophical and theological questions. And also next week is UU Miami at Miami Beach Pride. So we invite you to come to Pride with us and to march with Safe Schools South Florida. So on Sunday, April 6th, which is next Sunday, if you are not going to be here at service or you choose to go to Pride, we invite you to stand with us. So UU Miami members and friends are invited to live our values by attending our marching in the Miami Beach Pride Parade. So you don't have to march, you could just attend if you'd like. We will be marching with Safe Schools South Florida, who we have supported in the past and who is also our co-sponsor of our queer group that we have here at the congregation once a month. So let's all support all this. Wear your yellow Miami UU Miami t-shirts if you go to Pride next week. This year is bound to be extraordinary. We'll be walking alongside folks from other congregations who are open and affirming to the LGBTQ plus community, like Christ Congregational, Imperial Sun Court, United Church of Christ, and many others. So I want us to be there and represent UU Miami. So stand proud in community and in resistance. And today, in place of a float, we'll be carrying an oversized pride flag throughout the entire event. So that is really impressive to see. If you haven't seen it, it's amazing. It's a powerful symbol of creative resistance against the ongoing efforts to erase our stories and silence our voices. With every step, we will boldly declare we are still here and we will not be erased. So there is a registration link. It's right there on the top left-hand corner of the screen, but you will find it in your Connections newsletter as well. And you can click on that link, safeschools1991.org/pride. As for today, please join us for lunch after the service. Thanks to, I'm not sure who, it might be a potluck back there. We encourage a $5 donation. Or if this is your first time joining us, please be our guest. Stay and chat with the folks here while enjoying a nourishing and delicious community lunch. If you're interested in helping out with lunch in the future, check out the sign-up form in the weekly Connections newsletter or talk to someone in the kitchen. We'll be glad to tell you. Pledge Drive, we are asking the members and friends of UU Miami to pledge resources for our next church year, July 1st, 2025 to June 30, 2026. Your generous donation, should you choose to give it, and I do encourage you to do so, sustains this beacon of liberal religion in Miami-Dade. Please fill out your commitment card once you receive it. Get back to the UU Miami office by as soon as you possibly can, or fill it out online. So thank you so much for your generous support and participation in this congregation of memory and of hope, and you are indeed the keepers of the dream, and it's always better together. So can I have one of the kids to help come and extinguish our chalice light? Thank you. As we extinguish the chalice, may we carry its flame within us. May we walk, go ahead, there you go. May we walk forward with open eyes and open hearts, committed to seeing and uplifting all the people in their full and beautiful truth. Go in peace, go in love, and go in justice. Amen. I welcome you now to greet each other, and especially those you may not know. Thank you.